their eyes were opened. Very dear brothers and sisters, 3 days ago I received, and all the priests received this, an email from Bishop Talley sharing that all the bishops of the United States and all the bishops of Canada, together on Friday, May the 1st, are going to consecrate the United States and Canada to our Blessed Mother Mary under her title, Mother of the Church, Mater Ecclesiae. I think this is very good news. When a person or even a nation is consecrated, it then belongs or becomes the possession of the one to whom it is consecrated. Our Blessed Mother is very powerful and full of grace, and as a good mother, she holds all of us, her children, in her grace-filled and all pure, immaculate heart, and she will watch over and protect all of us. I remember as a teenager getting engrossed in a TV show. There would be the evening show, usually that began at 6 p.m., and then the late show at 8. And usually I would watch the evening show with my parents, my brothers, and family. And I remember how the time would just fly by, especially if it was a good movie that caught my interest. Some good movie that touched my passion, my mind, and my heart. We can see this in the two disciples as they walked with Jesus on the road to Emmaus. 7 miles. To walk 7 miles would take a long time, but time is relative. It depends on where the mind is. And for these two disciples, even though it was 7 long miles, the time was just flying by. They were totally engrossed in what Jesus was saying to them. It grabbed them in their heart and soul. It took their passion. It entered their hearts, the whole conversation. All they could think of was how Jesus had suffered so horribly. And they were hoping, yes, they were hoping that he would be the one to redeem Israel. But then their hopes were cast down. Their hopes were completely shattered and destroyed because Jesus was crucified and died such a horrible death. Brothers and sisters, you know the story. It was Jesus who was with them, who was disguised. He was changed in appearance. And he began to walk with them and to engage them in this wonderful conversation of salvation. Oh, how Jesus said to them, oh, how slow you are to believe, how slow to understand all that the prophets spoke about the Christ. Well, he certainly caught their attention, and they forgot completely about the long walk, the 7 miles they were walking. Imagine walking 7 miles, but it just zoomed by as Jesus himself explained about himself all that the scriptures in the Bible said about him. It was amazing to them. They were completely oblivious to the time and everything else. They had never thought about the Christ having to suffer and then to die in order to take away the sins of the people, to set them free, not just from Roman control, political control, or some other political lord dominating them, but from the very power of evil itself, sin and darkness and the devil. We call this the Paschal Mystery. Jesus explained the Paschal Mystery to them. Were not our hearts burning within us, they said, as he opened and explained the Scriptures to us. As he explained these Scriptures on the road to Emmaus, they were so excited and so completely engrossed that when Jesus sat down with them and broke the bread, as he did at the Last Supper, and when he disappeared from their sight, something happened. Something wonderful happened. Their eyes were opened, the Scripture says, and we call this a spiritual awakening. Their eyes were opened, and they understood that they too had suffered the trial of seeing Jesus die. And now they were experiencing the joy of seeing him alive. It is true. They saw him alive. They were completely captivated by the gift of Jesus' resurrection. They got up and immediately ran. They didn't walk. They ran the long 7 miles back. But it must have been a very quick 7 miles going back to Jerusalem to tell the others. They didn't think about how long it was, or maybe how their legs were hurting by running so far back. But when they got to Jerusalem and saw Peter and the other disciples, they immediately, with joy, proclaimed, "We have seen the risen Lord." "It is true," they said to Peter and the other disciples, and they shared how their eyes had been opened and how they'd come to understand about the Christ. Brothers and sisters, their lives were changed from that moment on, changed forever. Indeed, God, who is mighty, did great things for them. And what about you and me? Aren't we too caught up into the mystery of Jesus dying and rising, the wonderful Paschal mystery? He is truly alive. Isn't it true that God has done great things for you and me too? And that, like Mary, our Blessed Mother, Mother of the Church, we can exclaim with all the generations of Christians, God, who is mighty, has done great things for me, for us, and holy is his name.